Hello and welcome to pmplounge.com. Today, continuing our discussion on the PMI report, Achieving Greater Agility, we are looking into one of the set of the report that is called Deliver Projects Better with Any Approach. So that is one of the six sets in the report, and like I said, you can go over to pmi.org and I'll share the direct link in the description below and download your own copy. This is available for free. This report is available for free for everyone. No copyrights infringement intended. All copyrights acknowledged. This is a PMI report. Go download your own copy. So today we will be continuing our discussion on this report and we will be looking into, let me open up the report quickly. So deliver projects better with any approach, right? And it says agility remains a growing force in how organizations execute their initiative. Our Pearls of Profession, and we have covered Pearls of Profession as well in our previous videos. So I will be sharing the link to the Pearls of Profession report as well in the description for those of you interested in doing a refresher and going through that report as well. Research indicates, the Pulse of the Profession research indicates that since 2012, 72% of organizations report greater agility. And what do we mean by agility is that the organizations are open to kind of, mixing two or three different models of project management, right? Be it agile, be it predictive, and choosing best of both worlds, right? So that is what agility here means. So organizations achieve this by focusing on people, process, and culture, and by understanding that every project is different and one size fits all approach may not always work best. There is more than one way to get the job done, and that is what we mean when we say agility, right? So we are not holding one, method of delivering project and sticking to it, right? We basically kind of acknowledge that there is more than one way to get the job done, right? So that is what agility is all about. Project professionals should build a diverse toolkit of approaches to project and value delivery depending on the project. They might select an agile, predictive, or a hybrid approach. The end goal, always deliver value. So whether you work on agile, whether you work on predictive, whether you work on a hybrid approach, right, choosing best of both worlds, the end result remains the same. Always deliver value. That's the end goal, right? And we recently did a video on agile versus predictive. I will share a link to that video as well in the description if you want to go over what is the difference between the two, right? So, and that was also apart from this report itself, right? So that video is actually a part of what is there in this report. It's just two pages. If you go to download, you'll be able to open it. I already have it open here. So this is it's just two pages. Like I said, it's one of the six sets of the report. So it's just two pages that we are looking into today, and I'll quickly go over the um, basically the important parts of the report so that uh, you can kind of understand what we are trying to achieve here and what is this report about. So organizations are looking for greater success with their strategic initiatives, those projects and programs that drive change, enhance competitive advantage, and fuel growth. Agility remains a growing force in how these organizations are executing their initiatives. So 72% is the figure which we discussed in the previous page. Also, 72% of organizations support greater agility. That means organizations do not mandate that all projects be, all projects follow the predictive model or all projects follow the agile way, right? Or if there's a hybrid way, if there's a way wherein a project manager can use best of both worlds, they are open to do so in certain organizations, and this is 72% of such organizations that are reporting greater agility since 2012, right? So that's what this report is about. Organizations achieve greater agility. Now, how are these organizations doing it? So organizations achieve greater agility through attention to people, process and culture. So they are paying attention to the people in the organization, the process of their organization, and the culture. They recognize there is more than one way to get the work done and invest in essential capabilities. This is what we discussed in the previous web page also, that there is actually more than one way to get the work done. And the more organizations realize it, the more they will be agile and more they will be open to different models of project management, right? So for project professionals, that includes building a diverse toolkit of approaches to project and value delivery. So delivering value is the end goal as always. And yeah, this is one line which is important, which we kind of discussed in the previous page also. The fact that every project is different and one size fits all approach may not always work. So whatever is the best fit for the needs, organizations are getting more open to it, and organizations are actually letting project managers take the lead and deliver the value to the customer, right? So 71% of projects meeting goals and business intent by most common approach among organizations with high agility. This is predictive. 68% for agile and 72% for hybrid. If you see the highest, it's actually hybrid. So making use of best of both worlds, right? Whatever suits for the project. Not all projects are the same, right? And one size does not fit all, which is what we discussed, right? All right, so let's move on to the second page of the report. And like I mentioned earlier, Agile allows teams to deliver projects piece by piece while and to rapidly adjust as needed. That means changes are expected. While predictive calls for most of the planning to be done upfront. Planning, the first thing that we do when we receive a project, we start off with planning. That's the traditional approach, right? And then follows a sequential process. We have covered this entire table actually in one of our previous videos, which was about agile versus predictive, and I'll share the link in the description so you can go over and kind of follow us on that video, and you'll be able to kind of understand what we were basically talking about. All right, so moving on, there's another thing that I would want to cover here is all right, so approaches can be mixed and matched for an outcome that best fits the organization, right? So that's one of the learnings from this whole report, right? Predictive practices can complement agile practices, so you don't have to necessarily follow just the predictive practices. They actually complement agile practices, and you can follow a hybrid of sorts, right? Value delivery is the end goal. This is extremely important. Delivering value to the customer is the end goal. Whether you follow predictive model, whether you follow agile practices, whether you follow predictive practices, whatever that you're doing, delivering value is the end goal. Delivering the value to the customer, delivering the value to the sponsor is the end value and should always be the end value of the project. Too often we are too stuck with our processes, we are too stuck with our SLAs and things like that, that we don't think about delivering the end value. Processes, SLAs, things like these are in place so that things don't go haywire, right? So that every time there's a project, nothing goes haywire. So that these are basically guidelines, but these should not hamper the value delivery, which is the end goal. The end goal is to deliver value, and that should be the main focus of the project manager, of the project team, and of everyone involved in the project, right? The last thing in this report that I'd like to cover is the evangelize agility part. It's important to communicate the business value of agility throughout the organization. 88% of high agility organizations say working in a more agile way greatly improves the ability to implement or contribute to strategic objectives. And I kind of see it, right? And I'm pretty sure if you have gone through this report, if you've gone through um, other pearls of profession reports, you'd agree with this point, wherein agility is the name of the game. You have to have a competitive edge over your competitors, and agility is the way to go. 66% of high agility organizations report agility is important to the success of their business unit or functional area. Again, that's true. That complements the previous number, right? 92% of C-level executive, the CEO, COO, CTO, the CXOs in the organization, right? So 92% of them consider agility critical to business success. And that's true, right? The end goal is delivering value. The end goal is is to survive and thrive in a competitive environment, and you cannot be stuck with your predictive approaches, right? You cannot be stuck with your agile approaches. You cannot be stuck with your SLAs. You cannot be stuck with your processes. You have to become more agile, and you have to deliver, you have to deliver value. That has to be on top of your mind at all times. 82% of C-level executives, again our CXOs, report the use of agile approaches is important for the implementation of strategic initiatives, right? So strategic initiatives, if you want your strategic initiatives to succeed, you have to implement agile approaches. There is no other way. You have, so end of the day, what we can take from, if there was one thing that I'd like you to take from this set of the report, is that you have to be agile in today's world. You have to, embrace agility. You have to be agile, and the end goal should be to deliver value, right? That should always be the end goal of all your projects and of all your initiatives, whatever that you're doing in your company or your organization, right? So that's all that I had in this video. Hope you enjoyed the report. We will definitely have some more videos on covering this entire beautiful report of achieving greater agility. Subscribe to this YouTube channel so you don't miss out on them. YouTube.com/PMP Lounge, that is. And check us out on our social media, Facebook.com/PMP Lounge and Twitter.com/PMP Lounge. And as always, do check out the website PMPLounge.com, your number one free resource for PMP certification as well as project management industry information with reports like these. Thank you.